What if I told you that one tag team didn't just win championships, they changed WWE history forever? A team that went from being just another tag team to becoming the greatest tag team of their generation. A team that dominated Raw, SmackDown, WrestleMania, and rewrote record books. Today, we're talking about the Usos and how their historic tag team wins solidified them as legends of WWE. This is WWE Insider Scoop, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. If you love WWE history, backstage stories, and real insider breakdowns, hit subscribe right now. When fans talk about tag team wrestling, certain names always come up. The Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the New Day. But the Usos didn't just join that conversation, they forced their way into the top tier. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso entered WWE with expectations already on their shoulders. They were sons of Rikishi, members of the legendary Anoa'i family. And in WWE, that legacy can be both a blessing and a curse. Early on, many fans thought, they're good, but they're not special. That narrative would not last long. When the Usos first debuted on the main roster, they were athletic, fast, and exciting, but they lacked identity. Face paint, colorful attire, high-flying offense. They were fun, but not feared. They won tag titles early, yes, but they didn't define the division yet. And here's the truth most people forget. The Usos had to reinvent themselves to survive. In WWE, talent isn't enough. You need presence, you need attitude, you need to make people feel something. That turning point would come years later when everything changed. The Uso Penitentiary. Those words changed everything. No more face paint, no more smiles, no more dancing. Instead, we got intensity, aggression, confidence, swagger. The Usos stopped asking for respect, they demanded it. This was the version of the Usos that began stacking historic tag team wins. They didn't just win matches, they outclassed everyone in front of them. Let's talk about what really matters. Record-breaking championship reigns. The Usos went on to achieve things that no tag team had ever done before. Longest SmackDown Tag Team Championship reign, multiple-time tag team champions, main-evented shows as a tag team, treated like top-level stars, not side attractions. Their wins weren't flukes. They weren't transitional champions. They were the standard. Some wins define careers. The Usos had multiple. Usos versus New Day, Hell in a Cell. Usos versus New Day at WrestleMania. Usos versus The Bar. Usos versus Street Profits. Usos versus RK Bro. Every time the gold was on the line, the Usos delivered. These weren't just matches, they were tag team masterclasses. Then came the bloodline. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso. This wasn't just a faction, this was a dynasty. As part of the bloodline, the Usos reached another level entirely. They became the longest-reigning undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the backbone of WWE's biggest storyline in years, main event players on the biggest stages. Their wins now meant more than titles. They represented loyalty, family, power, control. Every tag team victory strengthened the bloodline's grip on WWE. One of the most underrated aspects of the Usos' historic run was storytelling, especially with Jey Uso. Jey wasn't just winning titles, he was telling a story in the ring. A story of conflict, loyalty, self-identity, family pressure. When the Usos won titles during the Bloodline era, it felt personal. That emotional depth turned regular title wins into historic moments. Let's be real. Tag team wrestling has often been treated as secondary in WWE, but the Usos changed that perception. Their historic wins proved tag teams can headline shows, tag teams can tell deep stories, tag teams can carry an entire division. Because of the Usos, tag team matches feel important again. Championships feel valuable again. Teams are judged at a higher standard. That's legacy. Are the Usos the greatest tag team ever? This is the big question. Are they better than the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, the New Day? Here's the honest answer. The Usos belong in the GOAT conversation. Longevity, consistency, storytelling, championship wins, main event credibility. Very few teams check all those boxes. Even after their historic tag team wins, the story isn't over. Whether reuniting, going solo, or returning for one last dominant run, the Usos' legacy is already secured. Anything else from here is bonus history. The Usos didn't just win championships. They elevated tag team wrestling, created unforgettable moments, represented family, loyalty, and dominance, left a permanent mark on WWE history. And if you want more deep dives, insider breakdowns, and WWE storytelling, subscribe to WWE Insider Scoop right now. Like this video, comment below, are the Usos the greatest tag team of all time? This is WWE Insider Scoop, and we'll see you in the next one.